On the 31st of October 1973, my life was totally changed by a television viewing experience. I was only 15 years old. ITV transmitted the first episode of The World at War, a 26-part colour television series to be broadcasted weekly over the next 6 winter months. It not only acquainted me with the documentaries of World War II, but it also introduced me unknowingly to the voice of Laurence Olivier, an actor who would play a part in my life a mere 10 years later. The World at War cost about £900,000 at that time, the equivalent of circa £15 million now. Colour footage was expensive to license and collect, but it was a breakthrough production. 4 years of work until it hit the small screen. Over 50 years later, and after burning most of my cash and some of my soul, the book is out in English at 155,000 words, and it is already being translated into French. The television series as the book is called World War II: The Call of Duty, a complete timeline. As near as fiddly, World War II broke down into 24 times 3-month periods, enabling me to make the somewhat bold, if not crazy, plan to produce an episode per quarter per annum from September 1939 to September 1945. It is the final volume of my work over the last 15 years to create some sort of rival series to the classic I use as the benchmark for my war programs, and now it is colorized. It is down to the judgment of viewers, time and history, to see if my pension fund gets restored to its once former glory. Following this short announcement is the opening sequence to episode 1. And I hope it interests you enough to hit the links and run with my work, where you are able to subscribe as you choose, hit notifications, and comment as realistically as you want. I'm pretty sure I have ironed out any creases, but a piece of television work lasting in the region of 24 hours will likely have a bump or two that I am sure will be pointed out to me over time. In addition, there are 24 audiobooks on the Liam Dale Audiobooks channel for those who snooze or cruise listening to such volumes. The links are all in the description. I mentioned my introduction to Sir Laurence Olivier R.I.P., that doyen of the movies and considered one of the greatest theatrical actors in history. As a mere adult of 25, I audaciously opened the Actors' Workshop in Denmark Street off the Charing Cross Road, and one of the earliest students was in fact Julie Kate Olivier, who her mother asked me to take under my precocious tween-age wing. There were a surprising amount of famous thespian offspring attending my workshop, but that is a story for another day. Baron Olivier's personally signed cheque arrived to pay for the course, and I overcame the urge to just keep it as a souvenir, instead photocopying it and framing it. I was too skint at the time with West End rents to be so noble. To close, a few weeks later, another well-known actor, Denham Elliott, had to postpone a workshop due to filming, possibly Raiders of the Lost Ark, but I could be wrong with this date. Anyway, I had to telephone 12 students to advise the schedule change, amongst them Julie Kate expecting her mum, the delightful and still with us Dame Joan Plowright, the Baroness Olivier DBE. I was shocked when the phone was answered by the immediately recognisable Dad himself, as I tried to so casually relay the news of a changed schedule. I had to hold while I get a pencil, darling, and I can safely say it is the only telephone conversation where I sprang to my feet and stayed there until the receivers were downed. And yes, I have spoken with Buckingham Palace on several occasions in my career, but Sir Larry is the only call I was ever at attention for. This work is my tiny tribute to the personal connections with this icon of theatre, and my tribute to those who came before me at ITV, as in my twilight years I dare to present, as far as I know, the only 24-hour World War II series in existence. Since that 50-year-old plus classic. Welcome to the Call of Duty, and my thanks, Liam Dale. It's easy to look back at the past, study the history of war, and uncover dramatic reports of heroic exploits, daring deeds, evil megalomaniacs, and vicious dictators. And all too soon, you'll find yourself completely detached from such events. The turbulent wars that took place so long ago seem to have little connection with reality, will in fact often be the stuff of legend. Whether you consider the conflicts of the ancient Greeks, the battles for Troy, or Alexander the Great's conquest for world domination, what we now know often owes more to movie makers of the more recent past's interpretations. War is about heroes, glory, and a rip-roaring story, and invariably the true horrors of human conflict are lost in the telling. What's more, the adage that history is only ever written by the victors is extremely accurate, or it was, until the wider use of photography and film developed through the course of the 20th century, painting a very different picture indeed. So, to really understand the concept of war on a global scale, the World War II years of 1939 to 45 provide perhaps the first complete overview of man's inhumanity to man, alongside the bravery and heroism that show the very worst and the very best facets of human nature. Incredibly, there are archive images from every stage of this conflict, and as we consider the events of the Second World War chronologically, this will build into the complete timeline. This is our past that we can truly connect with, revealing a history littered with living, breathing survivors who can still tell stories of the comradeship, hardship, suffering, and sadly on occasion, the futility of battle.